They're trying to figure out how we're still happy. They're trying to figure out how we can afford the things they can afford, how we can afford the restaurants they go to, how can we can afford to shop like they shop, how we can afford to vacation in the places they vacation in. Because they have dedicated their lives to making ours harder. So when they see us and we're never lonely, they're like, how are you here? We cannot beat this team. Because you can't. You can't. You've dedicated your life to try to make mine harder. Meanwhile, I'm just living mine and you're trying to figure out why I'm still happy and I still look younger than you.
Do you realize that black people in America are the most financially successful across the spectrum of black people in any other country in the world?
Did not know that statistic.
That black Americans would be in the 95th percentile for income in any other country in the world on average. That black Americans have more successful businesses in America. You know, this concept of racism is a really funny thing. The question is, do they want to work through them? When Asian people had challenges in America, they worked through them. When the Irish had challenges in America, they worked through them. The Italians, you know, there's a segment of the black population, whether we like it or not, that has made a ton of money off of creating this victim mentality.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at all the positives for the black community. And I think the black community has tremendous opportunity, and they're doing a great job and can do better if we give them the chance.
If we gave them a chance. Look, even under systemic racism, they were able to persevere and become successful. Even under institutionalized racism, they were able to persevere and become successful. If we gave them a chance and removed the system, could you only imagine how great these black Americans will be? Even greater, because he knows this government specifically target black Americans since the beginning, since the inception of this country. It goes back to 1619. That's when everything became structural and institutionalized, far as when it comes to racism existing in this system. That's when it was well documented. 1619. No other group of people in this country this government targeted like black Americans, but black Americans still persevere. Only if we gave them a chance and lift all those systems and made the game plan, the playing field fair and equal. And you know what's so heartbreaking? These white people know this, right? But you have all these non-European immigrants, especially the black immigrants, come over here and put their nose up like they better than black Americans when they're coming into a country where all the smoke cleared. Basically, you wasn't over here in the 1600s. You wasn't over here in the 1900s. You wasn't over here in the 1800s. You wasn't over here in the 1900s where they was burning successful black communities, right? All that stuff the Somalians are doing in Minnesota, that would have been burnt down in the 1800s. You talking about, due process, justice by the court. No, it would have been justice by fire, right? And they have the audacity to come over here and put their nose to the sky like they better. When the hard part, when coming up out of the trenches have already been in the past. But he stated, the white man stated, only if they was given a chance.
I want you to understand that black women still rising and doing well currently in this economy is shocking to them. They don't understand how your hope has not been lost. First, they dangled the idea of a woman possibly who looks like you being in office, took that away. You rose again. They disproportionately fired black women for their jobs, pushed them out even though they're their highest educated group. They wanted you to feel insecure, unstable. You rose anyway. Then they began talking about cutting of government assistance. And while not everyone benefits from that, others who do still doing their thing and making it happen. There are more black women opening businesses than ever before because they have been pushed to be entrepreneurs now. They now have to be their own boss because you showed them as a boss you would mistreat them. Overall, everything this administration has done to specifically target black women has not worked, and it will not work. And black women will continue to prosper. That's just how it's going to be forever and ever.
How are black Americans surviving? How are black Americans thriving? We've done every single thing in our possible ways to see them down. How are they even managing to survive? These are the words of some of these white folks and every other person that was thinking that Black Americans would never rise or stand. You know, a lot of them thought poverty was meant for Black people. Poverty was not designed for them. Why? Because they are privileged enough until they finally fall into the reality. And that's the reality I want you guys to watch today. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And guys, with that being said, let's dive right into this video. Disclaimers: this is just for educational purposes only, not to come here, ruffle on anyone's shoulder, or make anyone feel uncomfortable. With that being said, let's go watch. I'll be back with commentaries.
Yeah, their playbook was Black people fighting in the streets all summer. They wanted a summer of violence. They wanted all those video clips of Black people being violent. And the entire Black community collectively in one voice heard their ancestors say, rest, stay home, don't go out in the streets. They collectively heard it, and they've all listened, and it was right. They have been dealing with a apartheid fascist state for generations, even worse than an apartheid state. Like in the slavery era, that was like, they have been in an abusive, narcissistic relationship with the government for generations, since the first person unwillingly stepped foot on this land. They have studied their abusers, because that's what you have to do. When you are a victim to an abuser, you have to study their every movement as a form of self-protection, and they have done that. They didn't have to learn it as they go when he took power in November. They already knew. What do you do when your abuser all of a sudden you hear him walking on the hallway and his footsteps are a little bit off? His breathing's a little bit off. You hide. You go and you hide in your closet. You go out the window and run. You get somewhere safe. They have gone somewhere safe. They are not resting. Is not passive. That is not passive protest. That is active protest, and it is working more than anything else that has been being done. It is more effective than I can think of anything else that is being done right now. Resting to me means staying home, saving your money, not spending your money at corporate stores, not buying local, shopping at local stores, going to local restaurants, supporting local businesses, building community, saving your dollars. We brought down Target, and that was 100% led by Black people, by the Black community, 100%. We made Disney come to their knees with just money in a weekend. Like, that is where it hits them where they hurt. We do not need people in the streets being violent. If you feel the call to be out there marching, go march. Do what you feel called to do, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they wanted summer of 2020 visuals, and they didn't get it. Summer's over. They never got those visuals. I guarantee they have some strategy book and they're like, summer of violence, martial law, we can bring troops in everywhere. Every time they bring troops in somewhere that is shown to be peaceful, people wake up. Every time somebody wakes up. It's a snowball. So people that are resting are literally doing the most right now. So thank you for everyone that engaged with that post and are commenting on it. Those comments are literally like, I'm glad I've introduced some people to the term gray rocking. I'm glad I've put words to what people have been feeling, and that people in the Black community are validating that, like, finally a white lady gets it. Because that literally makes me emotional. Nothing makes me more emotional than getting validation from, especially a Black woman. If you come in my comments and say, you get it, I get emotional every time. So thank you for that. Because you all know. Nobody knows the most besides, like, the smartest, most aware people in the world are Black women. And you will never change my mind on that. Because they have to be. They have to be. And they are. So thank you for validating my last post, because that's how I've been feeling about it ever since I first saw people saying we're sitting this one out. That has meant a lot. Like, that moved me a lot.
Other races, who has the most beautiful skin?
Black people?
Why you say black?
Because look at me.
So why do black people bleach your skin? Yeah, your skin is beautiful, but
Thank you.
yeah,
I don't know. Probably insecurities.
oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Is that why they also wear like the white women's hair because they're insecure?
No.
You sure?
I don't think. Oh wait, white woman's hair?
Yeah, like the 613 bust down Brazilian wigs. That's white women's hair.
I don't think so.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure. I think it's just hair.
I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want black women to act like white women. I don't want black women to act like any other women. Therefore, I don't need any other women telling black women how to behave. Black women are clearly the standard because why is everybody trying to target them and point the finger and saying, hey, we're better than them? You don't compare yourself to people who are at the bottom of the barrel. You compare yourself to the cream of the crop. That's what the world knows that black women are, the cream of the crop. And it just blows their mind because how? We tried to destroy black women. We tried to take everything from them. We tried to take their men from them. We took their kids from them. How are they still standing? How are they still strong? Why are they still so creative? Why do we want to be like them so bad? All the mannerisms, they take it from black women. Period. Come from black women. The way they like to dance come from black women. The music that they love is catered to black women. I never see black women comparing themselves to other races. I've seen us get up here and compete against each other, but I don't never see us get up here and say, oh, you need to be more like this race, or you should be more like this race. It's always them trying to compare themselves to us, telling us how to be. Everybody trying to tell black women how to be. And before y'all go saying I'm pandering to black women, whatever. Because I feel like as black men, it's our job to correct each other. It's our job to sharpen each other. Man sharp as man is iron sharp as iron. Like black women are the ones who need to check black women. Anytime it's a black woman getting up here beside herself, a black woman need to stand up and check her. Anytime a black man up here bashing black women, a black man need to stand up and check her. Because we don't hear it coming from the opposite sex. Y'all, please start asking yourselves why are these people watching us so close and we're not paying attention to nothing that they doing. Just like Cat Williams said, everybody knows that we the truth except us. They just spread all this fake propaganda amongst the world, making the world feel like black people are untrustworthy and black people aren't loyal. But the whole time, y'all still watching us. Why? Because we the truth.
I think the hardest pill to swallow as a black girl is that no one is coming to save you. Whenever you're put in an uncomfortable position or someone has disrespected you or you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, absolutely no one is going to defend you. Maybe if you're lucky, another black girl, but besides that, they will all sit and watch you suffer. All the performative allyship, all the sisterhood, not even, other black men, none of those fake alliances matter when you are on the chopping block. And I think this is an especially hard pill to swallow because we are always everyone's superwoman. That's why people say, oh, if you're in trouble, find a black woman. Because we are always so ready and so eager and so willing to help. You don't even have to ask us. We will come to your aid every single time. But I think we have to stop. We have to stop because we will run ourselves into the ground and get into really bad situations trying to help other people out who would never, ever do the same for you if the roles were reversed. Protect your peace and keep taking up space, but from another black girl to another one, I'm sorry.
Y'all need to stop letting these biracial and non-black people piss you off. Because ain't no way in hell two girls dressed like Tom Sawyer finna tell me what it is to be a black woman. No way. It's always that specific archetype of the white mom, black dad. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking about the erasure of black people and how they're trying to whitewash our genes. And it also makes me think about that Nat Geo picture of what they predicted humans to look like years from now. If you pay attention to the picture, because it's not just that one picture of that one light-skinned girl, it's like multiple pictures of all types of people, except for really black people, because the people that you see on the list, it looks like they're mixed, but you can't really tell what they're mixed with. But you don't see a person that's like, okay,
okay, like I could tell that like you're black, like, you know, you're black. You see Asian, you see white, you see every other race, but you don't see black on there. You could also see this in a conversation around like the athletes and how, you know, once they go on stage to accept their awards, you know, their families are being shown. These mugs are white. Like these mixed kids don't look mixed no more. They look white. Like this looks like a white person. And to tie that back into that, you have a lot of situations that are popping up where you have these mixed kids or these even racially ambiguous people that are trying to tell black women and black people how to feel about issues that only they would go through. I don't care what y'all say, a mixed girl with 3C hair or up cannot tell a fully black girl how to feel about her 4C hair and how to feel about herself and present herself. You just can't. There's two different worlds. Like it's literally a tale of two cities where whether you want to realize it or accept it or not. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are just trying to redefine black people and redefine our culture without having black people in the room. Stop that. And to try to sit up there and say that something ain't black girl magic is crazy, because if you really knew about black girl magic, the first rule of black girl magic is to mind your goddamn business. Mind it! And I feel like the narrative is so tired of, oh, black women wear lashes, black women wear weed. Shut up.
When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business.
So black immigrants that come over to the United States, basically anybody post-slavery, oppression, all that different stuff, come in here dirt poor. I mean, have less money than you could imagine. I'm talking about they get here with $0 and they got to figure out a job. And they all move into the ghetto with other black people. So at that point, the playing field has been leveled. They're both impoverished blacks. No one cares where they came from. How come the immigrant blacks have a staggeringly higher success rate than American blacks? When they're both have the same skin color, they're both living in the same circumstances, and apparently they're both targeted by the system the same. Everyone wants to tell me it's not mindset. Mindset can't change.
When my family moved to the United States of America, I still have a family members there. You know what they were being told? They were being told that they should be careful, you know, because the black Americans are dangerous. They should not be around them. They should not hang out with the black folks in the United States. Don't you know that the system that is put in place, yes, the system is against all the black folks in general. But once you as a black immigrant who came from Africa and go to the United States, because now the system knows that, you know, you are not American citizens, number one. Number two, you know, if you also did something, they can kick you out from the country as soon as possible, but they cannot do that to other black folks. So now what the system does is that they will favor you against other black folks, because some of these family members who immigrated to the United States, they will tell me that, you know, they will just look at them in the eyes, tell them that, you know, do not work with the black folks, you know, do not work with these black people in America. They are dangerous. They are this, they are that, you know. But why in reality, you know, all these things is not true. They are just doing these things, you know, like just to put pressure on the black folks, you know, just the minorities among them, you know, just to fight among them because of the system that is putting pressure on the black folks in the United States of America. And some of my family members will even tell me, for example, like that, if their friends, you know, go to places to look for a job, you know, they will give them a job because they have an African passport, but they will not give the same job to the black folks in the United States who are looking for the same job. The system is just corrupting them for them to be frustrated, you know, so that they can just cause a chaos or things like that and put them to jail, because the system is all about that. But you do not understand this thing as a black man. But whatever freedom you have today in the United States of America is because of the black Americans. You have to know that. Whatever freedom a Chinese man got today in the USA is because of the black Americans. Whatever freedom I don't know, the Mexican has today in the United States of America is because of the black peoples fighting for the civil rights. You know, this is what you have to understand. So the system will favor you as a black immigrant also a little bit than the black Americans. This is how the system is put in place in the United States. So I think it is time for you, people who thinks like this, to open your eyes, you know, and work with the black folks in the United States to know that you are all in the same situation. The system is just playing you. You think that your success It's because of your hard works, and these other black people, they do not work hard. No, in fact, the black people in America are more successful than the immigrants, the black immigrants who are in the United States of America. This is just the truth. So your hard works comes from the hard works of the black folks in the United States who have sacrifices their lives, their children were being raped, over and over to fight for these civil rights. And now you got that freedom. So you think that because of your mentality and your hard work, you get more success than them. No, the system is against them. That is just the facts.
When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business. When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business. When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business.
A white woman just posted a video asking us black women only, how can she explain to her child why they can't sing the word in songs? She understands that it's bad to say in conversation, but somehow she can't explain why they can't sing the word. My video is that don't help her. Don't give the woman no answers. Don't point her in no direction. Because if she wanted to know, there are enough articles online. There are enough videos between Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. There are content creators that do this for a living. If she wanted to know, she'd go find out. She'd go look up the answer for herself. And that woman looked about my age, give it a couple years. You are old enough to know why you shouldn't be saying it or singing it in a song. And you're old enough to know how to find the answer. Do not help that woman. Don't give her no labor. And yes, I think it's rage bait. I don't care how much the slow song she put on the video, the long ass caption, all the hashtags, is rage bait to me. Period, point and blank. Don't help that woman. Let her go find the answer by herself.
When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business. When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business.
Yeah. Look at me, I should. Like he's standing. Got obsessions really.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and thank you all for watching all of that video. To really understand how Black Americans have survived and still thrive after slavery, segregation, and Jim Crow, you have to hold two truths at once. One, the damage was deep, long lasting, and still affects people today. Two, at the same time, Black Americans built a powerful system to survive resistance and progress. The first one, which is the starting point extreme expression. After slavery ended in 1865, freedom do not mean equality anymore. What comes next? Jim Crow law in the 1877 to the 1960s. Enforced segregation everywhere: schools, hospitals, jobs, transport, Black people were denied voting rights. They were blocked from good jobs. They were given poor education. They were terrorized by violence. Their restriction on education were one of the biggest tools used to hold Black Americans back. Areas with heavy slavery, Jim Crow, still have high poverty and low mobilities. So survival wasn't just easy. It was survival against a system designed to stop their progress. So Black Americans didn't survive by luck. They built the system of resilience because mainstream society exclude them. Black Americans built their own churches, mutual aid society, which help with money, funeral, sickness, Black-owned schools and colleges, family structures and extended kinship. This community act like bank, welfare systems, emotional support systems. Even after slavery, where there was a massive push towards learning, freed people built schools immediately. Parents sacrificed everything to educate their children. Historically, Black colleges and university HBCUs were created even under segregation. Black community, which are the Black Americans, built their own economy. Black-owned banks, insurance companies, restaurants, shops, and farm. Entire successful Black businesses distinct were created under racism. This community include circulated money internally, created jobs, built wealth despite exclusion. Millions of Black Americans moved from the South to the North to the West to escape violence and poverty. And this opened access to factory jobs, increased income, create urban Black middle classes. Black American preserved and evolved cultures like music, blues and jazz, hip hop, religious and spirituality, language, storytelling, acts. Culture becomes survivor too, a form of resistance and a global influence. Black Americans didn't just survive, they fought back. And the major actions include protests, legal battles, boycotts, organizing movements. This led to Civil Rights Act in 1964, Voting Rights Act in 1965. This law helped dismantle legal segregation. Now, these parts of Black Americans' mental and psychological resistance, despite generational trauma, violence, systemic inequality, Black community developed strong identity, spiritual grounding, and collective resistance. Oh my God. Black Americans gain access to education. Huge improvements happened when barriers were removed. Rapid advancement occurs. Black Americans still deal with wealth gap, health inequality, educational disparity. These are not random. These are directly result of historical system. But at the same time, there is a growing Black middle class. There is a strong cultural influence worldwide. There is increasing political and economic power. Black Americans survive, progressed because of community, education, faith and culture, resistance and activism, migration and adaptation, and unbreaking resilience. Black Americans were not just victims of histories, they were also builders, fighters, creators, and survivors of one of the hardest and the harshest system in human history. So when next time you will ask as a Black person, how do you survive? How are you coping? How did you manage to get through it? Just tell them that the power in Black community can never break you down. Like, comment, share, and let me know what you think in the comment section. With that being said, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying back and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye for now. I love you guys. Mwah.